So your realtor says you might need to look at putting together an escalation clause, and you're like, a what? Stay tuned. We're going to break it down, keep it simple, and talk about some of the things that you might want to look out for when working on an escalation clause. So, what is an escalation clause? The simplest way I like to explain it is basically, it reminds me of eBay. So let's say if you have an item that you're bidding on, that's your house. The buyer is making an offer on this particular item. The bid is already set at $35, and then they say, okay, I'm gonna make a bid and I wanna bid, I'll pay up to $55 for this item in $5 increments. And so basically that's their escalation clause. They give you a maximum amount, and then they also give you what increment that they're willing to beat the previous, the next closest offer that's on the table. So it just kind of gives them a little bit of wiggle room, gives them an opportunity to work within their budget. Also, hopefully, you know, of course, the buyers are always hoping to be the one to have the winning bid. First and foremost, like with any real estate transaction, you want to make sure that you know and trust your realtor. When you sit down with them, make sure that you feel like you connect with them. You want to try and build that rapport early on and have that be somebody that you feel like is in your corner and that is not using terms that just kind of fly over the head, but is going to be willing to break things down for you and just keep it simple. Now, give them a little grace. Occasionally, there's a term that'll slip here and there that isn't quite part of normal conversation. They should be willing and more than happy to break it down with you and walk you through that, and not just expecting you to know everything already. So that's going to be an important part as far as somebody that is going to really be acting on your behalf and in your corner. Along those same lines, making sure that this is somebody who is looking after your wants and needs and your best interests, and not that their most important concern is what's an escalation clause going to do for me as a realtor. Yes, it sounds wonderful and it can be kind of a shiny term that can work to your favor and can work in your benefit, but obviously it can also cloud the judgment of some people that maybe are looking to change their bottom line. So going back to that main point, you want to make sure that it's somebody that that you can tell has your best interest at heart. Somebody that's maybe been referred to you by friend or family, or somebody that you've done a thorough job vetting, which we can talk about in another video. And the thing you want to be most aware of when putting together an escalation clause as a part of your offer is the appraisal process. As we talked about in the definition of an escalation clause, the offer can come up quite a bit depending on how much of an escalation clause you're attaching to your offer. And so just being aware of that, if the appraiser comes back and says that the value of the home is less than what your offer has accumulated to at that point, then you're in a place where you're going to want to make sure that you have those expendable assets or that cash on hand essentially to be able to cover the difference between the two. Otherwise, the house is going to slip through your fingers. If you found this helpful today, please subscribe to the Move to Omaha 365 YouTube channel, and I would love to have you join me for more informational videos about various vocabulary terms in real estate and also other things about moving to the area and what we've got going on here in Omaha. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you again next Sunday at 7. I'm Kristi Wampler with the Shawn team at Nebraska Realty, and remember, I'm here for you. If the roller coaster of buying has you stressed out and wondering why you're in this process, make sure to check out this video and remind yourself of all the great pros about living in the Omaha area.